So now we go without a safety net. I guess like a lot of people, I have different parts of my life, but I've come to realise that the good bits are somewhat more prevalent than the bad bits now, which is a good place for me to be, but it wasn't always such. And I had to find ways of reminding myself that that was the case. But then one night as I slept, two angels came and spoke to me in alternating lines. They said they'd get me out of here and pay off all my fines. They carried ebony caskets with two tickets held within and two very different approaches to the purging of my sin. The first, his name was Penance. He was the louder of the two and he spoke of guilt and shame and all the things that I should do. His shadow came upon me and I was bowed beneath his threat to return each waking hour to remind me of the debt. The second, she was Charity, no less a shadow she, and yet she volunteered forgiveness on the road to liberty. She would fold her wings around me and release me from this grief, from the pain of keeping hidden all that stuff that lay beneath. Both were equal in their bidding and their powers of persuasion, and it seemed to me unlikely that I could balance this equation. Neither one could be discarded. Neither one could be removed, for this history must remain. It could never be disproved. And as I struggled to decide which of these tickets I would use, which journey I would take, and which casket I would choose, my heart was drawn to Charity, whose faith was undefined, and yet she offered me a life more like the one I had in mind. But it was cracked, and bits were missing, and the shadows filtered through, and though I ushered in the many, I could not reject the few. So not necessarily perfect, or even fundamentally honest, but still much closer to the truth, this aging gift that I'd been promised. And with her hands now soft in mine, she encouraged me to try. And I was pulled from out this quicksand by a host of reasons why, and this time the door was open. There was nothing to discuss. The shackles fell towards the floor, and one by one they turned to dust. And this ticket to absolution, it came to rest upon my shelf. What's the point of absolution if you can't forgive yourself? When for every night I've sat rewriting all these pages I have torn, I know this grass was never greener in the town where I was born.